Bungie just released a massive blog post detailing how build crafting is going to change in Lightfall. It starts with them showing us some of the graphics for loadouts and what we can see while using them. It's very clear, very cool. You can even see how your subclass is built. And also from one page, you can go to your armor mods, and at the top right, you can even switch to your weapon mods. Mods will now have a new way of being unlocked. They will all be unlocked at Guardian rank 6. Now, for us that have been playing before Lightfall, we will automatically be at rank 6. But for new players, the pathway to rank 6 is how they will unlock all of their mods. Mod energy types are gone. The necessity for different elemental armor pieces, no longer. Don't need them. You're just going to need that god roll armor you have, and that's it. Another thing being removed is archetype mods. So mods that are hand cannon loader won't exist. It'll just be arc weapon loader or kinetic weapon loader. Artifact mods are reworked. They're now passives that are applied to your character as soon as you unlock them. But that also means you can only have 12 unlocked at a time to avoid some obvious balance issues. And you will be able to reset your artifact at no cost. Now, Artifice Armor, in response to that artifact change, will now have a new mod slot that allows you to add 3 to any stat. Now to a sweeping gameplay change, match game is gone. They're finally listening to us about how we are tired of our builds being ruined by champions or match game. And on that note, our subclasses will now have intrinsic anti-champion stuff, usually done by something you can apply to yourself for your weapons. I'm not going to read it out. Pause it, look at that. It's important. Combat style mods, which exist now, are being changed to armor charge mods. So Charger Light, Elemental Wells, that stuff is being completely reworked. And here's how it works. It's essentially all based off of picking up an orb of power. Mods are changing a little bit, like how you create an Elemental Well, or how you became Charged with Light. It is now spawning an orb of power when you do that. And picking up an orb of power gives you a stack of armor charge, 0 to 3 on default, all the way up to 6, depending on what mods you have. Mostly mods will work the same, with certain mods taking certain stacks of armor charges. A new thing is with passive armor charge mods, you want to have those stacks decay over time to get the benefits from the mod. Other than that, mods will be working largely the same. And finally, for this armor charge system, huge change is finishers now dip into your armor charges rather than your super. Elemental Wells are getting completely reworked. They will no longer be spawning through mods. They will actually be spawned by your subclass, and they now have these new names. One thing to look out for is it says that the Arc Elemental Wells have been changed to Ionic Traces, and so I imagine all of these new Elemental Wells will work like Ionic Traces do and track to the player. The effects and how these new Elemental Wells are created will change depending on your subclass build. They show an example of how you could create a solar fire sprite by using the Ember of Tempering fragment. They also show what would happen if you pick one up with a new fragment called Ember of Mercy, which when you pick up a fire sprite, the new well, you will be granted restoration. So it is confirmed we're getting new fragments, and I'm very interested to see how this new subclass stuff works. And for the final bit of information in this blog post, Warmind cells are gone. I hope you enjoyed your time with them, so be prepared to say goodbye on February 28th. I think that's it. Thank you for helping me pass 500 subscribers. It means a lot, and I'm going to be continuing doing this all year. So stick around for Destiny news, information, builds, whatever. I cover like everything. Thank you. I think that's all I've got to say. I hope to see you around.